Hey guys, did you know that there are fish that can walk? Well, not exactly walk, but they can move around on land for short periods of time. Hi, I'm here to introduce you to Life of Fish, a brand new series where we explore the secret world beneath the surface and discover the amazing animals that live there. This is part one of our deep dive into the underwater world, and in this episode, we'll learn about some of the strangest fish in the sea. Now let's start off with the mudskipper. This little fish can walk. Well, it can sort of hop and wiggle its way across land. These fish have special pectoral fins that act like legs, helping them travel on land for short periods of time. But why would a fish need to go on land? Well, mudskippers live in brackish waters, which means they prefer the slightly salty water of estuaries, or the area where fresh water from rivers meets the salty ocean. This environment can be a little too cozy for these amphibious fish, so they sometimes crawl up onto land to lay their eggs. They dig a small hole in the mud with their fins, and then use their mouths to make it into a nice little nest. Then the male will guard the eggs until they hatch. There's one more thing about mudskippers that makes them super unique. See, most fish breathe underwater using their gills, but mudskippers can't do that when they're on land. Instead, they have special sacs under their eyes that allow them to absorb oxygen from the air. Another unusual fish that can hang out on land is the flying fish. Now, these fish don't actually fly. Instead, they leap out of the water and glide through the air using their large pectoral fins. Flying fish can stay airborne for up to 400 meters, which is super far. They also travel really fast, reaching speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour. That's as fast as a cheetah. Their streamlined bodies help them cut through the air like a torpedo. But what do they look like underwater? Well, they have special swim bladders that help control their buoyancy, so they can quickly adjust their depth as they glide through the water. Flying fish normally use their gliding ability to escape predators. They leap out of the water and then zoom along the surface, making it hard for their pursuers to catch them. Sometimes fishermen catch them with nets or lines, but flying fish can even escape from those. Once they're out of the water, they flop around on the deck of the boat until they get back into the sea. And speaking of escaping, there's one more fish that can escape from danger on land. The boxfish lives in the coral reefs and has a really unique shape. Its body is made of bony plates that make it look like a box. It's got a big head and small mouth, which isn't great for catching prey. So it mostly feeds on plankton. When it swims along, it uses its dorsal fin to create a current that helps bring food right to its mouth. Boxfish are generally pretty slow and not very maneuverable because of their blocky shape. But if they find themselves in danger on the ocean floor, they can use their tails to flip themselves over and swim away. Some people say boxfish look kind of cute, but others think they look more like a piece of funky furniture than a fish. But no matter what you think they look like, it's best not to pick one up unless you want to end up with a nasty case of boxfish poisoning. That's right. These fish are venomous and can deliver a painful sting with their dorsal spines. All the fish we've talked about so far can be found in both fresh and salt water. But did you know there are fish that can only live in fresh water? Stay tuned next week for part 2 of Life of Fish to find out all about them. See ya.